Have you ever wanted to turn back time and change the past now that you know better? Or have you ever wondered if you could go back in time and discover what was really going on with a relationship or a situation? Well, today, using tarot and a bit of mental magic, that is what we're going to do. Hi there. I go by the name the Celtic Storyteller, and in this video I am going to give you a chance to revisit a relationship or a situation in the past and hopefully find answers, improve how you feel about it, and find some peace. So as we're opening a mental door to the past, it is important at the end of the reading we close that door. So if you do decide to drop out of the reading at any point after us having opened the door together, then just please go to the timestamp at the end of this reading. I'll put it down below, where I'll just have a small section where you can close that door. It'll take less than a minute and it'll ensure that any unresolved past doesn't seep into your consciousness. I will open and close the door mentally at the start and the end of every reading. It's going to be a pick a card, and there'll be 3 readings, okay? So let's jump in. You can pick a Nature's Whispers card to pick your reading, so I'll just take them out now. I don't know what's going to come out yet, but I'm aiming at relationship questions, probably love, but we'll delve into your situations as we go through the reading. So let me just pick your cards for you first, and you decide which card you're going to pick to choose your reading. So this is going to be the first one. I'm so excited about doing this. It's been on my mind to do for quite a while, but I just haven't got around to doing any readings. As you probably noticed, I haven't been on here for a while. So, but I've been around, I just haven't done a YouTube video. That's our second one. And lastly, I think this one here. Okay, so that's your 3 cards for your reading 1, 2, or 3. So reading 1, reading 2, reading 3. I will start with reading 1. Hi there, everyone who picked card number 1. And let's see what we have here for you. Oh, wow. You couldn't have picked a better card. Inner Truths. This is exactly what we're looking for. Look, this is us now. We're going to go on a little journey through all the old corners of your mind where things sit in the past. And hopefully I'm going to find the situation that you want to know about. We'll find out what that situation is in the first row of cards that I pull, and then we're going to ask some questions about it. So just put that, let me see, in your line of sight there. I have kind of meditated on this and asked it to help us. So this is our little guide. This is what I'm going to use to kind of open our mind to the past. I'll just say a teeny tiny poem. It only just vaguely rhymes, but it's really a way to focus your mind that we're going back to the past, okay? So if you look at this while I just tell you that we are going to turn back time in your mind, and the answers you will find. Okay, and I can just put that there for you. So that's just a simple mental exercise to leave you open to go and find and think about what it is, what situation, what person you want me to find out more for you about. Okay, so first of all, I'm asking what happened in the past so that you will know if this is for you. Now, wow, these 2 I always find are very, very similar cards, because you see the girl is holding a lamp and this man here is holding a lamp. This is the card of Virgo. Maybe that makes sense to you. Maybe the person was a Virgo. Maybe the person, just sort of blocked you and didn't speak to you. Wow, we have a jumper here. 5 of Swords. Okay, so there's definitely some conflict. What happened? I want to know what happened. What happened? What happened? Okay, I'm going to go for this one, the Queen of Swords. Sometimes this is divorce, but it's separation. Okay, we have the Moon coming out there. I'm going to get one more for you about the situation. Okay, 8 of Pentacles. Right. Okay, this is a situation where you were blocked, maybe a little bit nastily. It was like there was, one day things were fine. Maybe you were in a relationship, romantic or friendship, and the next day they just stopped communicating with you, but they were still kind of, in your field, so in your friend group, or you were talking to them, but they were just kind of a little bit nasty when you were around. I think they eventually kind of cut you out then altogether and didn't look back, didn't turn back. Now, there might have been a small point of time where they seemed to be pulling away from you. Then, then it got a little bit nasty. Either there was a situation, it could have been cheating, but I'm not really feeling that. I'm thinking more just they really didn't. It's like they almost made up something to be annoyed with you about and then cut you out. And you kind of didn't have a clue. There was something hidden here that you didn't know about. And, they could have been afraid of you, but we'll get more when we kind of dig into why this happened. But this is a bit more about you really not getting the full picture. It wasn't illuminated for you, and they blocked that from you again. This is all very much being blocked, and they got on with things. They might have removed themselves a little bit from your friend group, and they could have thrown themselves into work. So you would have a lot of unanswered questions here. Okay, so the next thing that I am going to ask is, what is it that you don't know about them? So, like, how did they feel really during this that they didn't tell you? What was going on with them? Okay, so for that one, I am going to get this deck here. All right, this is the Heaven and Earth Tarot. So if you really feel this isn't your situation at all, you can look at one of the other ones, 2 or 3. But if you don't look at any of them, just, go to the closing the door section, just so you kind of close back your mind after us opening it together. Okay, so material trouble. All right, I'm going to take these two. Look. Wow, Princess of Wands, King of Wands. A lot of fire energy here going on. Okay, another 2, please. Another 2. Take that one. Established. Okay. Look, one flicked out there. Let's see. Swiftness. All right, what was going on? So, what is it about this situation, about them, that you didn't know at the time? This is just kind of repeating sort of the Hermit, what I was saying to you before, that they blocked you, they left you completely out in the cold. But you see, the 5 of Pentacles, these people here, they know the church is there. They could go in and get help. So it's a little bit of feeling sorry for yourself. So they might have been in a situation where they felt sort of sorry enough for themselves. Something was happening. It was a temporary situation, but at the time they didn't know that it was temporary. And they just felt more comfortable blocking you out and dealing with it themselves. And this is where they started to block you and go inward. And this fighting that was going on, or some pretense that they were trying to find reasons to sort of be annoyed with you and whatever. And under this, we have the Princess of Wands. So I did say in some situations I didn't think it was cheating. It could have been that they were pursuing another desire. That desire may not necessarily have been a person, but it could be something within them that they wanted. And some situation knocked them into feeling this. Whatever was happening that was difficult in their lives, it just ignited this fire where they were like, I want things to be better. I want something for myself. Right. And, this continued, they completely didn't look back at this past that they had with you, because this is what they were pursuing. They were pursuing their own desires fully. King of Wands. They went from thinking they wanted it to really, really going for it and committing to something that they were passionate about at the time, and not involving anybody else, including you, about it. And what they were blocking from you, I think this had a lot to do with the type of future that they envisaged for themselves. Again, that might have been a knock-on from some situation. I mean, this could have been somebody being very ill in their family, or, they could have, failed exams, and then they felt, oh my God, now I've got to start thinking about myself. So it's that kind of catalyst that started all this off. This is a kind of very, I think, career orientated type of thing. This guy's waiting for his ships to come in, but they are coming in because they're already successful. So this was a real, like this person here, man, woman, whatever, they look quite lonely in a way, I mean, they have a lot going on, but they're still standing there alone without anybody else. Threes are supposed to involve other people, but because their back is turned, I feel still we have this element of their back being turned to you and everybody else, hiding a part of themselves and just continuing with a career. I think this is a very much career card as well. We also have 2 eights, there's eights are infinity. It was like, I have to be working on this for infinity. This passion that they had and this idea that they had to work on their own, I just think they felt at the time would go on for a long time and could possibly mean that they would have to travel, because this is actually a card of traveling as well, or looking beyond to other lands. So, I feel that what they weren't saying was that their work would bring them away. So I do feel that you were kept in the dark about a lot of this, although, you might have kind of copped it. You might have known a bit of this was going on, but they wouldn't let you, they wouldn't just be honest and say, something's happened to me and now I feel I need to put my energy elsewhere and take it away from you. And this is what I'm going to do. And these are my reasons. This is what my passion is now. And I'm just going to work on that. It is quite severe. I mean, you don't see any cups here, do you? It's like there wasn't a consideration for the emotional impact that this decision, this passion, this desire was going to have on anybody else. Like, look at those are all wands, and it starts off with these pentacles here, like a lack of, and this is a lack card. This is all like not lack. This is all going for it, So I think this is what you didn't know. This is what you didn't know about them. If you got a hint of it, you didn't realize how deep it ran. It ran really deep to their core, that this is where they were going to go. Now, I'm going to do another row, and this is what is it that you want them to know? Like, if you could go back to that point in time and say something to them. Whoops. Sorry, I see my camera shaking there, and I don't want it to touch. Yeah, sorry. I hate when that happens. Okay, so this is, what you would say to them, what you would, what you might say to yourself in order to make this situation easier on you. So it's a bit of both, because, you're sort of saying it to them in your mind. So it's really for yourself as well. So this is where the healing and the acceptance starts. Now, I'll move those up a little as I draw the cards, okay? Kind of like, a question that's coming into my mind, maybe you're asking it, is surely if you were important enough, they would have brought you along the way, along this journey. And it's a very good question. I'm going to answer that. King of Air. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. Okay. Speak your mind with confidence. Seek out professional advice. Balance mental and emotional considerations. Sorry, I'm not actually going to read all of them as they come out. I find that too distracting when I read them. King of Air. Now, we have a kind of a match here. What would you have told them? I think when they started acting like this, it kind of had a knock-on effect on you, and you felt the same way. You might have felt, you took the romance out of it and you were blocking it. And you kind of want them to know that you did that just because of the way they were treating you. You kind of mirrored then that 4 of water. Yeah, I mean, you knew you were missing an opportunity. And you kind of also knew that it was too late. You were looking at what you'd had already, and, you knew that this was... I think maybe you knew that you felt that there was something you could have done at this point. Like, this is when there their fiery energy is still mild, if you know what I mean. It hasn't been fully committed into. And I think at that point, maybe you wish that you had said more, that you hadn't just gone cold on them as well when they went cold on you. If you could, this is what you would say to them, you know, and you could say it to them. So say it to them now in your mind. You wish you'd fought harder. You wish you'd done more. It's okay to wish that and for it not to have happened. We just go back and acknowledge, okay, we wish we'd done things a little bit differently. That's okay to have fought it, because you felt they were your Two of Cups. You felt that you could have done this with them. Like I was just saying to you, if you could, that question that was coming to me, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they change but bring you along with them? If they had to change, if they had to follow a different path, you know, you were friends, you were loyal to each other once. Why couldn't that have continued? And part of you sees that you would have been a very good match together. Keep going. This one, I think. Oh, King of Water. Like, do you see the way you're getting the water cups? Sorry, the water cups. Sorry, the water is cups. You're getting the cups. They had the wands. Like, you know, you were the one who did have that emotion and you were more mature in it. And I think maybe, yeah, at some point, even though you might have kind of gone cold on them, you did realise that they were, you know, maybe too late. They'd already turned away. You might have made an attempt to say something to them at that point. But if you could go back, you tell them now, yeah, look, I mean, this wasn't a short-lived thing. This would have developed into something really wonderful together, you know. But you hid your emotions just as they did, which is a natural thing to do, especially when we're younger, you know. What else do you want them to know? What else do you want to... Are you realising about how you felt in the past? Okay, no, I'm not feeling that. I think it's over here. Two of Earth, yeah. You're, I think maybe still in your mind, you might be in two minds about, you know, look, would this have worked? You know, yeah, you were ready to put the commitment in at the time. You were ready to give it your all. And you felt you could have made a very loving couple together. You know, but when you look back on it, and I think it's fair to say, if it didn't work out at the time, you know, you can't tell yourself, oh, this would have definitely worked. It's okay to be in two minds about it, to say it could have been lovely, could have been wonderful, but it wasn't. So, you know, you tell yourself, well, maybe it wouldn't have worked out. So maybe I shouldn't worry or miss them that much. But I think that, yeah, I think I'm also sort of feeling that they may have had this bit of a moment as well, because with the duplication of the eights here, which can kind of be going around about and coming back again, while it looks like they cut you off completely, I think it's fair to say that they may have had times where they second guessed their decision. But I think if you go back now, you're bringing yourself back now. What do you need to know? What would you tell them? Look, you don't know. Maybe it would have worked out. Maybe it wouldn't have worked out. But that time has passed now. And maybe allowing yourself to realise that it's a bit of a 50-50. You won't kind of, you know, when we come back now to the present, you'll sort of say to yourself, okay, well, don't cry too much or be so upset over something that you don't know for sure if it was going to work out. It had a huge potential, but you don't know for sure. Now, when we come back to the present, I am going to pull out some spirit cards, because something that you have learned from revisiting this, you do want to bring it into your present, and it may tell you something else that you need to know about how things stand currently, presently with them, and how, you know, this kind of bringing this healing forward in time might affect them. So let's get our little Harry Potter time turner here again. Again, the poem is pretty sad, but it's pretty basic, but the feeling is there to bring us back now to the present. So we're going to roll forward in time to today, move forward in time to today with an understanding and happiness as you go on your way. Okay? All right. So back to today, and let's see what energy that has brought into today. Okay, now let's see. We're back to the present. Oh, look at that one that's sliding out there. Oh, the High Priestess. Yes, we have taken a journey into your subconscious too, but we have also opened a door into their subconscious. This healing is not just healing you, it's healing them as well, to Moon, okay? I just feel, you know, this, you know, the mind is a very powerful thing. And I really believe doing an exercise like this can help more than yourself, all right? So this is saying, yes, this has brought other stuff, which I would say watch out for other things. Now we're closing the door. We've closed the door to the past, but you know, it's okay that thoughts in our future, in our current time, have healed from that. And this is your door to the subconscious, you know. So this has happened. You have this wonderful now new intuition about those episodes. There's three there. I don't want to take those 3, okay? They don't feel right. But this one, no, sorry. I have to feel it. Okay, this one. Oh, wow. The Lovers. The Lovers, this is a choice. 3 times, 4 times, 3 times. Sorry, I saw 3 deer the other day, and this is coming to my mind. 3 times. Does this mean something to you? 3 times, 4 times, 2, 3 times, twice in the past. There's a possibility of once in the future. There's a possibility. I'm just telling you now what's coming into my mind, okay? Let's bring the 3rd card. Let's bring forward the 3rd card. So yeah, look, the Lovers is a choice, you know, and this coming over this 2 of Cups here. Wow, okay. Let's see. What else do we get for you? This is your present now. Oh my God. Okay, so you have, I don't know if you know the tarot cards, the 6 of Cups. That is the card of past relationships. And you've got the Lovers and you've got the 2 of Cups. So I didn't start out doing this reading with the intention that this was going to bring, that this was going to mean that you know, if you were thinking about somebody in the past, that you had a chance with them in the future, because you know, I mean, you have to take what's going on in your present. But the story in these cards is saying that if you can bring this healing to yourself and this to them as well, there is, you know, this is saying that you can be together again. All right. So, I mean, take that how it rings true for you. I mean, obviously, this is a general reading. It's going to be different for everybody. But maybe it was something that you needed to heal within yourself, or to see what happened in the past differently in order to be open to being together with this person again. Because the Lovers, as I said before, is a choice. These 2 people choose to be together, come together equally. It's just an extension from the 2 of Water. And the 6 of Cups is somebody from your past coming back again, a lover, somebody you love, somebody you care about. It's that being with that type of person who you know, you feel is a childhood love, you know, or it can be that you are with somebody that feels like you've known them all your life, that they feel like somebody that it just has so much in common with you. So like I say, it's a general reading. Maybe this is going to leave you open to, you know, trusting somebody similar to this, whoever this relationship was in the past, and not feeling that you're going to have the same heartache or outcome that you might have had previously. This leaves you open to loving somebody similar to this, you know, that brings back memories of this person, similar, but that you know the outcome is going to be different this time. So that is an absolutely amazing end to that reading, I have to say. So pile number 1, I really hope you liked this. I think it was a really lovely outcome for you. So I'm wishing you and your loved ones peace and good health. Slán go bhfuil, which is bye for now in Irish, and I'm wishing you all the best. Hi there, and welcome to everybody who picked group number 2, pile number 2. Your card is Leap of Faith, and it's 22. Wow, isn't that beautiful? Okay, so let's see. I'm just going to put that over there for you. Now, first off, I'm going to pull some cards for the situation. Actually, apologies. Oh, you have to go back in time first. Oh my gosh. Okay, right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just say a couple of lines. It's like a poem, but it's not like a serious poem. Do you know what I mean? It's just a way to focus your mind on going back to the past. So if you think about the person or situation that you want us to go back and find more out about, that's what you do while I say these words, okay? So turn back time. Just get this going. All right, turn back time in your mind and the answers you will find. Okay, now, so this is a mental exercise. All you have to do is think about this in your mind, in your head. That's where the magic lies. So we're going back to visit a time where with somebody you need some questions answered. Oh, that's so freaky, because I got this. This was the first card, in the last reading as well. Okay, so the Hermit. Whoa, and we have Strength. Whoa, so that's Virgo and Leo. So as I was going to say, the Hermit, this is, you know, could be a situation where you were blocked by somebody, okay? I'm not so much getting that for this now, so we're just going to see what else comes out on that row. Because with Strength, it's not so much though. Not so much a blocking as a reconsidering. Okay. Just stop talking now, actually. I just wait to get the next few cards. Hanged Man, which was reversed. And none of my cards are reversed, so let me keep that. Okay. 2 more. Let's take this one. 10 of Pentacles. Ten of Swords. Okay. So I feel this is as much about you as it is about somebody else that you might be inquiring about. Because, you know, I think there was a decision made to go a certain way. And you might have been the one to say, oh, I think this is in our future. I think, you know, I think you had the idea, you had the strength to carry it forward. You were kind of leading this person along on this, in this way, you know, for this idea, or now this could be career. This could be like, for some reason, I'm buying a house. You know, this, you know, a path that you were going on. And, you know, this would have, a path that would have meant you had to wait a while for it to come to fruition. But you didn't. There's something about, you know, that it needed time and you didn't give it the time that it needed. I think you felt maybe the time was too much of a sacrifice, that you kind of wanted now. You wanted this, your goal, to happen now. So if it was, you know, say you were looking for security or whatever, so say this was around, you know, a relationship that was heading towards marriage, and you said, okay, we'll wait and we'll buy a house first or whatever, and you kind of stopped at this waiting. Now, it could have been the other person, so you take it how it rings true for you, and that you or that person just ended up taking another path, a shortcut, like, to getting what you wanted. So be that, you know, home and security, marriage, whatever. And like, as soon as you'd done it, you were regretting it and sort of really upset about the decision you'd made, but you felt that that was it. That was the end. That was, you know, the outcome, and it wasn't to go any further. And, you know, it all started out so well and so well thought through, and you felt that you had everything under control. And then, you know, it sort of flipped, and you just didn't give it the energy, time, commitment that it needed, you or them. Okay, so I feel that's what this situation is about. That's what this reading is about, and we're going to find out more. So what is it about them and the reaction to this, or what was happening with them at the time that you don't know about, and we're going to find out now. How did they feel about what was going on, you know, more about what was going on with them. And to delve into this, we're going to use the heaven and earth. Whoa. It's like you didn't take the leap of faith. There's too many of those now, so I'm not going to take them. Oh, and now you wish you had. Does that make, is this ringing bells for you now, is it? Dear, oh dear. Yeah, because it's like this, you've got the lights here and the light here, like, you know, you started on the leap of faith with this idea, you were carrying it through, they were carrying it through, and then it all fell through. It all fell through for some other distraction of a similar goal, but it wasn't with them. Oh, I see, here we have again despair and cruelty, which is, you know, the Nine of Swords again. So I wonder isn't that interesting? I wonder from the very outset, were you actually worried somehow if this was the right decision? Maybe you didn't have the faith for the leap of faith. So so rather than confuse matters, I'm going to say that this was your person thinking this. Okay, I know I said you could flip it. So, and this is you. You were worried about this idea that they had. And this, oh, lovely Six of Cups. So, you know, this is, you know, an old romance coming back. This is nostalgia and, you know, being really in tune with somebody and knowing them so well and having so much in common. So maybe initially you were kind of like not sure about the idea, and then as you were pulled along, you kind of felt, you know, no, like this person is for me, so I am going to do what they say. I'm going to continue with it. What is it that you don't know about them? Sorry, I'm just so confused here. Yeah. So this is what they're thinking about you. So I beg your pardon. So this is what happened, what you don't know about them. So what you don't know about them is they were worried from the start, but they went along with you because you were the one for them. So now, if I haven't totally confused you, let's continue with this row. So what is it that you don't know about them? I think maybe for half of you, you know, this is flipped. So that's why I'm kind of getting mixed signals. So what about them that you don't know? They went along with it. Oh man, oh my God. So when you took this shortcut, or when they took the shortcut, they were brokenhearted. They were absolutely devastated. They were totally ready to wait and put in the time, you know, to make the sacrifices that were required for you to have a future together. I really feel that in some cases, you know, this was an engagement. This was going to be an engagement that was broken off. It was a very serious relationship, you know, because this is true heartbreak. And, you know, I know this was a mistake. Okay, so what else about them? Okay, the Seven of Cups. Yeah, so at that point, I suppose they just didn't know. They didn't know what their options were after that. Oh, look, and we have the strength again. Yeah, so this is all what you don't know about them. At that point then, you may have initially felt okay going this way, because even though they were heartbroken, to you, as far as you were concerned, they might have been also considering other options. But they were only doing it, I think, to save face. They were only doing it to make it look like they were strong. They then wanted to be the one guiding themselves. They then trusted in themselves. They probably went back to this point in time and they thought, look, I did have doubts. So if you only had doubts at the end, then they probably said to themselves, well, look, I had them from the start. Even if you went back to them at that point in time and said that you were sorry, you made a mistake, I don't think that they were ready. They weren't at the point where they were going to accept that apology, because they then were the ones guiding themselves forward. They had decided that's what they would do, after maybe some hemming and hawing. So now, what is it that you would like them to know about you? What, if we're going back in this situation here now, and the thing to do is sort of take the time, as if you could talk to them now. Like, what would you want them to know? What would you say to make all of this better, to, so that, there's no guilt, there's no, sort of regret. Regret won't get you anywhere, but we all regret, of course. So what is it you want them to know about you? Or something you can even tell yourself, because you're doing it in you're doing it in your own mind. So you're healing yourself as you feel that you're talking to them. King of Earth. So this is, kind of a similar feel to this card here. So, this was all done out of wanting to have some kind of security. This was sort of your goal. This was very important to you. And you were very mature that way, I think. And that's perfectly okay to be mature and to want to be secure, and to go after that, in the best way that possible. And, starting out, you felt that you could have this with them. You want them to know that, this was never a trick. This was all completely genuine. Now, and the leap of faith, here we go again. The dreamer, the fool, the leap of faith. Yeah, you had complete faith in it. They had faith in you. You had faith that this was going to work out, and you want them to know that. It was something you had dreamed about. Queen of Air, and this is, so this is the, sometimes this is seen as the divorce card, but this is when, you cut somebody out. So at this point, yes, you cut them out, but you cut them out because, this was, it was a sort of an objective decision. It was not meant to hurt. It was done from a very practical kind of point of view. It was well thought out. I mean, it may have seemed like a shortcut, but there was good reasons behind it, from your point of view. And you've got to remember that. Like, you may feel differently about it now, and you may consider it differently now, but that was what you were considering at the time, was all you knew at the time, from all the information you had at the time. You made the decision that you felt was best. Two of Fire. Yeah, new partnerships. So, like, I do really feel that, this is a situation where you may have gone off with somebody else. You may have chosen somebody else, a new partner, a new commitment of some sort, a new desire. And, it really was what you thought was best at the time. That's totally okay. Balance, yeah. So I think, sort of, you found at the time you know, it may have all been very upsetting that it didn't work out, you know, what this change that you made. But I think, you know, at the time, part of you knew that this was what was supposed to happen at that time. You know, even if I think maybe when you're looking back at it now, you think you wish you'd done it differently. But at the time you had some acceptance and you were moving on, and you did find this balance. So if you were to send a message to them or understand your own, you know, feelings back then, I think this element of acceptance of, you know, that they had sort of given up on you then, you know, you had found peace with it in some way, shape or form. Because you might have been thinking, well, surely if it was going to work out, it would have worked out. There's that kind of, you know, question around, well, you know, surely if it was meant to be, something would have happened then. Or they would have forgiven me and come back to me. So therefore, I will say that maybe that was all for the best. And, you know, it's good to kind of revisit that acceptance that I feel that you kind of came to at that time as well. Rehashing it in your mind now might make you doubt, wonder, wish you'd done it differently, as we often do, you know, when you realise how much they cared about you and how close you were to maybe a deeper commitment. But it's okay that happened, because it followed the path that it was supposed to at the time. It followed the path that you had put yourselves on at the time, and you absolutely made the decision that you felt was right at the time and went for what you wanted at the time. And, you know, these are lovely cards of sort of balance as well. There was balance for either of you. There was peace for either of you in a form, in some way. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come back to the present, kind of having revisited that and, you know, being kind of gentle and kind with ourselves about it. I want you to be gentle and kind with yourself about it. So again, I'm just going to say a couple of words, a couple of lines to bring us back to the future. And then I am going to the present, and I'm going to do a row to see what has this brought now? What can this bring into our present, into your present, so that you know, it just might somehow change the way you think about things now and change the energy between you and this person now. Okay, so let's roll forward in time to today with an understanding and happiness as you go on your way. Okay, so now we're back to today. Okay, and having brought some of the thoughtfulness, I think, and the healing and the understanding and revisiting that, you know, I think you were okay at the time to this now, even though you might have, I just get the feeling that maybe, you know, currently you don't feel great about this. But now I think you should. Now we're back here and we know it's all okay. So let's see, finally, if there has been some change or what you should maybe know about this now. Back to the present. What healing has happened? What else should we know about this? Oh, I think I'm feeling this one okay. 9 of Pentacles. Right. This is a lovely card. This is saying that, look, you can be happy with what you've created around yourself now and be at peace with yourself. Again, at peace with yourself, you know. This is a real kind of luxury away from it all. Sort of happy with your own independence type of card, and the decision that you made previously, I think, has allowed you to have this now. Sometimes considered a card of being on your own, but I feel it's more a card of being content on your own when you want to be. Yeah, so I think, you know, maybe, yeah, maybe they were the type of person that you didn't want to be leading somebody. You wanted to be kind of equal with somebody, you know, so because you're very strong and independent. And then we have the Princess of Swords. Yeah, I mean, you still have that element of you kind of cut through any BS, you know, you want somebody that'll be up straight and to be open with you and I think that you still carry a bit of that with you, and it's good. It's all absolutely, you know, don't forget that that's very important to be able to see to the truth and cut out stuff that will not make you happy. One more. No, not yet. One more. Okay, I think this one. Two Pentacles. It's very interesting. What with the balance as well. So these are all women, so they're all a feminine energy. And I think that, you know, maybe, I think that you're still juggling now with the outcome of some of the decisions that you made in the past. I think that, you know, only sometimes maybe, yeah, I think maybe sometimes you might feel that you wonder, could you have made room for them? I'm going to pull another card because that's kind of a bit indecisive for me now. That's a bit, it's not completely clear. Nine of Swords. Okay, so we have the Nine of Swords 3 times. So I think that this is still troubling you. We've gone back and forward again in order to give you peace. And I don't want to drag up any upset that you've had before, lingering upset. So I think what this is saying is that there is some, you know, you're juggling with this, I suppose, this idea that what you did, this cutting out might have left you alone, or maybe it left you more independent than you wanted to be, and you're still not sure whether or not that was a good idea, that you probably still have some regrets about it. So yeah, leap of faith. Okay, so I think, you know, the intention of this was to sort of close off a chapter for you and bring you some healing. But we've delved into this now, and it's clear in this reading, in this story, that there's still things that you're upset about. So we need to deal with this now. Okay, and we are going to, let me see, what cards do I want for this now? Okay. I had taken these out earlier, so I'm going to use these. These are the Angel Answers cards. So, you know, if you keep doing the same thing, you'll get the same, you know, results. So maybe there's some, maybe, you know, there's something you can do about this. Maybe you can communicate with them. Yeah, you know, I suppose communication is really, those the only thing you can do. So what I'm going to do is you ask a question around, you know, should you communicate with them? What form should it take? You know, what should you know about this? How can you stop feeling this way? And let's see what these angel answers bring for you, okay? And I just keep in mind the leap of faith here as well, okay? All right, so I'll draw the first card. So choose a new direction. Okay, so let's get them all together before we see what the meaning behind it is. Okay, you are ready. Very good. Finally, this one, I think, okay, which is be assertive. Okay, so look, for some of you, maybe, you know, rehashing this really is only showing you, I think, that, okay, you found balance in the past because that was the best thing to do for both of you. And, you know, revisiting that, you still have sort of a minor version of that going on here with the Two of Pentacles. There was like, you know, the Two of Pentacles is juggling two things. It's, you know, having too much on your plate. You know, this is like, I mean, this poor girl looks a bit sad here though, you know. So this, I think with the cards that are here, is that bit of like, you know, uncertainty. And if that's the feeling that this person brings up, you know, maybe it's time to move in a new direction, because that's not doing you any good. You know, you make your own choices, sorry, but that you're ready to choose this new direction. You just need to be assertive about it. So that's like, stop juggling and choose which way you want to go. Now, for some of you, that's like, you know, choose a new direction. You're ready. If the direction you were going in was ignoring this and not communicating when you had a chance to, then maybe that's the direction you should go in, because you're ready. It depends on the question you asked. It depends on the feelings that all of this is dragging up. All right. You have kind of really good cards for the present, because Nine of Pentacles is excellent. Princess of Swords, you know, this is still somebody who's going to fight for what they want, somebody intelligent, you know. And Two Pentacles, we're all in this mode most of the time, you know, when you've a lot going on in your life. And a lot of us are in this, feel this as well. And, you know, it's actually a decision not to feel this. You have to kind of really be consciously move yourself out of, you know, feeling regret or, you know, upset about things in the past. It is, you know, a leap of faith to know that there are good things ahead of you. So I really hope that helped you now. Again, it's going to be different for everybody, so I hope that like a little element there at the end to match whatever question you asked has helped. That is all I have for reading number 2. I am wishing you and your loved ones peace and good health. So slán go fóill, which is bye for now in Irish, and I'm wishing you all the best. Hi there, and welcome to everybody who picked card number 3 or pile number 3. And your Nature's Whispers card is Let Love Be Your Beacon. It's number 42, which breaks down to 6. Wow, this is an amazing card. So 6 is the card of the lovers. Okay, so let's see where this takes us. First of all, I'm going to do my little poem that's going to bring us back in time. It's just a couple of lines. It's not really a poem, just a few words. It's really so that you concentrate your mind, bring yourself back to this person or query or point in time where you want to look into it, get some answers, okay, and get some healing. So here we go. We want to know what happened. So turn back time in your mind and the answers you will find. Okay, so now we're back at that point in time. I want you to think about what you want to know about it. I'll put some cards to describe what the situation was, and then we'll dig deeper and see, you know, what you don't know about it and what you'd like to say about it to fix it maybe, you know. So let's go. If this ends up not being for you, you can try one of the other two. If you drop out altogether, please just do the close off to bring yourself back to the present. Okay, so do we want, yeah, look, we're going to take, I'll take the first one, not the second one. So, all right, 7 of Cups. I'll just wait till I get the whole row. 7 of Cups. It's the other one that I felt, not the Sun card. Okay, sorry. All right, 7 of Cups, Ace of Swords. Okay, so what happened in the past? The card flew out there. Oh, yes. 2 of Swords. Yeah, a lot of indecision here. King of Cups. And Queen of Cups. Okay, very interesting. All right. So what was the situation? Okay, I think that there was a situation in love where maybe somebody had a lot of options. Maybe they were very popular. And it's like all of a sudden, how they were feeling, acting, the kind of lifestyle that they had changed because of some information that they received, changed because they just suddenly had a completely new outlook on what was important. They might have learnt the truth about maybe some of the people that were in their lives at the time, and they kind of had an idea of what they wanted after that, but they were conflicted. I think they might have been blocking themselves off from some of their true feelings about it. And there might have been a period of indecisiveness. And then at the end, we have this beautiful couple here, King and Queen of Cups. So it's like, so I think what specifically I'm getting here is there are doubts, you're having doubts. The situation is that, maybe you ended up with this person, you seem to be perfect for each other at the time, but you're wondering now about the foundation that was based on. You're wondering now, were you actually really the one that they wanted, because they had so many other options? What was it that they found out that kind of made them change their mind, about the lifestyle that they were having and settle down? So it's a curious one. I don't know much more about it. I hope that rings true for somebody. So the next row is what you don't know about them. So what you don't know, what you're asking about, how did they feel? What was really going on with them? Like, you may have seen this, but what else was going on with them? So that's funny. That's too many. I'm not going to take them. I'm going to take this one here with the Magician. Okay, so they were like, I think they were hot stuff at the time. I think, they had an awful lot of options in love because they were really one of these people who can make things happen, You may have had that sense about them, but they may have been, I don't like the word manifesting, they may have been sort of orchestrating what was happening, to them at the time, way more than you knew, way more than that was obvious. You might kind of have a sense of that now. Okay, material work. So the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, so yeah, again, it's kind of like really having sort of like a hand in what's happening. I just felt they had like much more of a hand in their circumstances than was obvious to everybody around them at the time. Sort of, in a way, pulling the strings. Maybe somebody found this out a little bit. Maybe somebody had an inkling and that made them nervous. The Hierophant. Yeah. So it's not really 100% clear to me yet. But yeah, so they, they were definitely in control and possibly, I don't know, had great love life and like a lot of options, or dated a lot of people, or had people ringing them, and, they were just of great interest. Maybe not the type of person you'd think that would settle down. But then there's sort of something shifted. I'm not really sure. Whatever happened, whatever knowledge they gained, or somebody gained knowledge on them. I don't know why I'm thinking of bribing. Somebody was bribing them. That's just a bit full of intrigue now. But their solution was to settle down, which is what we have here, the settling down. That would make everything else go away, or that was the only solution that they could find. to their situation at the time was that settling down would make issues go away. I don't know. It's all a bit full of intrigue, isn't it? Justice, yeah, and the King of Swords. So it's like whatever they did in the past, you know, the life they've led up to that point meant that going forward they were going to do something else. They were like, I have a sense of there being a child somewhere in the mix, although it is not coming up in the cards, okay? So, but I have a sense that it's something about that. Maybe they had a pregnancy scare, maybe there was a pregnancy scare. And it just sort of made them really realise like the consequences of their actions. And yes, they were a bit maybe more sort of like in the mind rather than in the heart. You're asking like, was this really, you know, what led up to this? Was it because of something? Is it built on a good foundation, I feel, is the question here. And there is a bit of thought put into it, like less heart, more thought put into it. Do you know what I mean? I think that's what you don't know about it. That's what was going on with them. There was a little bit of that. Let love be your beacon. So what you see in this situation with the eyes of a loving person who understands this person, hopefully you can extract more out of this than is visible in the way I've described these cards. So yeah, like, yeah, child, pregnancy scare, maybe just being a bit too, maybe just realizing that they were managing their love life, excuse me, managing their love life too much. They didn't like what they saw in themselves, that they were pulling the strings, maybe hurting people, you know. They didn't like what they saw. And that kind of gave them pause for thought. And they thought, okay, I can't allow myself to be, I can keep creating this life where I have lots of choices in love, or I can create a life where I am fair and just and, you know, decide on what's best for me and how I can have a loving relationship going forward. You know, that's the best I'm getting for that now. I'm sorry. So let's see, what is it that you want them to know about you? So send a message to your past self to resolve this. You know, what can you say in the past about this? And you're saying it to them, but because you're doing this mentally, it's self-healing as well. It's kind of sort of fixing, you know, doubts or whatever you might have had about the past. Oops. Okay, I'll take the bottom one, I think. King of Earth. We have more kings. There's lots of kings here, lots of mature, lots of maturity. Okay, so, you know, at the point where this person might have been, you know, creating, you know, a very active love life for themselves, you were sort of more, there's two there, I'm not going to take those, okay? You were more sort of worried about the practical, I think, more sort of wanting a stable life, you know, a stability. So I don't get the impression that you were one of these people that this person might have tossed around on different dates. I think you were somebody who was always sort of much more respected. That I don't know if that fell out just and turned. Okay, so keep it the right way around. Knight of Fire, King of Earth, Knight of Fire. You're practical, but you're also fiery and interesting and exciting, and you're on a mission. And, you know, I think maybe, you know, at this point in time when this person was going through this, you saw that as I don't mean this in a bad way, you saw that as your opportunity to have a relationship with this person, to get them to notice you in a way that they maybe hadn't before. They were maybe too self-centered before, I think. Oops. And then we have the King of Air. Wow, look, you have another king. And it's under this, it's under your swords here. So look, so yes, you had desire for this person, you know, but you also practically knew that this was a very good relationship for you. This was really going to work. You thought this through. You were confident in it. And maybe you were able to make decisions when they couldn't. What else do we have? And the wheel. Yes. So, you did feel this was destiny. There is love here. There is passion here. And you did feel that it was your time. It was your time to be together, which is very good underneath this justice here. Like, that's both of you seeing the same thing from a different angle, maybe. Like where you mightn't have been noticed here, you were noticed here. This was your time. The wheel turned in your favor. And, just because some practical thought was put into it doesn't mean that it isn't real. Okay. So, that worry was over. That, when the wheel turned in your favor, you no longer needed to worry. Maybe you were maybe parts of this journey were very difficult for you, but you were moving away from that, and you were moving away safely with them. They were steering the boat. And, I think you'd like them to know that, even like, learning this about them, like knowing this about them, I think you still feel you would still make the same decision. This would still come around and happen over again, because it helps you to move away from maybe a sadder time. And, this is a very happy couple here. I mean, this is a perfect match. And worrying about how things came about maybe isn't. It's about the past, and the past is in the past. And I just get this sense of two people finding each other, like moving through their own adversity, to find each other for the right reasons, being a match for the right reasons, even through their differences, and being supportive of each other, understanding each other's path. And if this has helped you understand their path a little bit more, to understand that it's okay, this is still a good match, I do hope that helps. What we're going to do now is sort of bring extra knowledge that you've learned now from the past. I'm going to come back to the present, okay, and I'm going to just pull in a few more cards to see if this has brought anything else that can help you in your present day. Has this brought anything else to the fore? Even though it's happening in your mind, your consciousness, your subconsciousness, all this has power. So let's come back again now. So roll forward in time to today with an understanding and happiness as you go on your way. Okay, so here we are now in the present, and I'm just going to pull a few more cards for you on this. See what your little visit to the past has done. Has it helped? Anything else you need to know about this situation? Any present healing? Okay, I think this, no, I'm going to keep going actually. Sorry, I really need to feel it. Okay, it's definitely this one. Wow, Prince of Wands. Okay, so, this is the, similar to this Knight of Fire. This is, remembering that spark, still having that little get up and go about this relationship. There is, you've brought some of that passion back with you now to the present, woe and strength as well. So, maybe it's your time to lead this person back to the passion that you might have had before. There's a very gentle, loving guidance. I hope this has brought you strength, fortitude, kind of, you might have been through difficulties, and it's time to come out the other end now. Okay, another one, please. Okay, I'm filling the one underneath here. Ace of Swords, and here we have Ace of Swords again. So knowledge is power. Knowing the truth can set you free. And, maybe revisiting this with fresh eyes will set you free for your future. Like, this is a great couple, and maybe that's what they realized at this point in time, and they wanted to turn their back on the way that they were living before. It's not exactly an easy decision, I suppose, if you're having a bit of a laugh. Look, you've got your 10 of cups in the bottom of the deck, but there's definite happiness here. And I hope you have this realization now, and understand that they did have the realization. That is a really good thing. It's a really good thing that they knew they wanted something different, and that the difference that they wanted was you. Okay. Look, remember, let love be your beacon. So, this is your truth, all right? Your light is the fact that there is love here. Absolutely. All right. Okay, that's it. I am wishing you and your loved ones peace and good health. So, slán go fóill, which is bye for now in Irish, and I'm wishing you all the best. For those of you who watched part of a reading and left at some point after we went back in time, but before we came forward, listening to this will enable you to come back to the present without that feeling of unfinished business, or a feeling that you have opened up to something but haven't closed it off again. I will say a few words to help you do this. Really, it's the mental intention that is important. Roll forward in time to today. Leave the past behind, undisturbed. You are happy to go on your way. That should do it now. I'm wishing you and your loved ones peace and good health. So slán go fóill, which is bye for now in Irish, and I'm wishing you all the best. What do you do when you know you've missed out on the future you were meant to have? I waited, and with the first breath of possibility, I jumped, sink or swim.